All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders in Great Millstone. And Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And I just wanted to speak on this article right here. As you can see, dealing with as headed, food inflation, desperation leads to violent attacks in grocery stores. And as you probably noticed, you know, I can't speak about other states necessarily, but out here in California, crime and looting and things like of that nature have escalated a whole lot more since um, things have um, gotten worse in society pretty much as far as after the whole shutdown happened out here, a lot of jobs were lost, a lot of businesses shut down. Now you have inflation's going on. People don't have that much money. Gas going up, prices on food going up. So you have a lot more people now, even more than ever. This has already been a problem out here in the Bay Area, as far as people, looting stores and whatnot, just because this is like petty crime, so to speak, to where they don't really get in trouble for it, pretty much. Yet this article is going into it a little bit, saying how that now that we're having more inflation affecting the food, and that's only going to get worse as time goes on. Yet this is going to lead to more violent attacks in grocery stores. All right, and this is all part of Esau's plan that he wants to happen, man. That order out of chaos. He wants chaos to happen out here in the world, and he's just basically forcing it to happen through this one of these forms, which is this. And this article goes into a little bit of the things going on regarding dealing with the food inflation and how it's making things worse in society, and how people are turning to crime because of things being that much harder out here. But I'll read a little bit of this before I get to scriptures. So you already seen the heading. It's from Natural News. It says, as food inflation worsens, a sense of desperation has seized in the minds of American people, and some of them are lashing out in acts of violence against workers at grocery stores and other food retail locations. America is now seeing a shocking rise in retail location violence that seems destined to only get worse. Biden's catastrophic economic and energy policies have led to a 400% increase in the price of fertilizer, 100% increase in the price of fuel, diesel fuel, supply chain disruptions, and food production shortfalls. Even infant formula has been in a supply chain crisis, and the cost of agricultural inputs today means far higher prices in the coming months. The result is record high food inflation that keeps getting worse. Higher costs of food gobble up higher percentages of discretionary incomes for consumers, hitting low-income consumers especially hard. When food prices rise to the point of requiring 50% of a person's income just to eat, history tells us that societies break down and lurch into uprisings and revolts. And that's what you see going on in this. And I've seen news clips with people saying that basically that it's getting to a point to where the price of food is getting so out of hand that they're having to make choices of whether to, buy food or pay this bill, stuff like that, because their income isn't increasing with the prices of everything that it is increasing. So while everything else is going up, the people, their wages aren't going up. You're still getting paid the same money you were before the prices of everything been skyrocketing, and you're not getting no raises like that at your job to compensate to, nor hours. You're not working enough hours to compensate for the rise of everything, in the economy. And like I said, when these situations happen, things get drastically worse to where people they're literally losing it all. So they lose it, because if you're going to work and 50% of your check is going to food, or if not more, is it even worth going to work at that point when you not, because that's 50% going to food, not even considering all the bills that the average person has. Rent dang near takes up a lot of your monthly income. So 50% is going to food. You damn sure don't have enough to pay gas, rent, bills, all this other stuff that the average American person has to pay, you know. But I wanted to get into the scripture real quick and get this precept in 2nd Ezra 15. It's 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," because destruction is coming here, man, as you see things are getting worse. All right, America hasn't been getting any better. You've been seeing that if you've been watching the news, they keep on talking about how they're going to try to fix it. They're going to send out more money yet again, which isn't going to solve anything because the value of the dollar is going down. So that never solves anything. People wouldn't have got stimulus checks before. If anything, it's just going to further cripple the economy. All right, but their destruction is coming, man. All you people that dwell on the earth, man. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what this article is lightweight mentioning, how, these people are getting ready to stand up and fight against another. At this point, they're fighting against, violence is breaking out in these grocery stores. People are looting and everything, but then it's going to escalate even more to the point to where, the government may try to step in at some point. Then they're going to be rising up against the government. Or they might, just do that anyway on their own. People breaking into other people's homes. And why? Because of situations like this. How we're entering times where we just did camp this past weekend, and we were talking about how, I believe, out there in Iran or Iraq, where they're having crazy inflation going on out there, to the point to where they're pushing a digital ID system to where they can help you get subsidized prices if you participate in that system. Now, we know that when these things happen in these other countries, and I believe it said it in that article as well, because I was reading it, out loud for the camera, and it said that that's pretty much a sign of what's to come here to America. And this article right here is basically showing you that those signs are here, hinting towards those things getting ready to happen. Because if the price of food and everything is jumping up, skyrocketing, what are they going to do to fix it, to help change it? The only solution they have is to do what? Start a new monetary system, which they've been mentioning here and there. They just haven't fully rolled it out yet, or, got all the legal stuff done in the background before they do roll it out, to the masses, to the people. But we clearly see where things are heading, all right? I'll read a little bit more of this article. It says, this is somebody's quote from a retail worker. It says, in her 37 years in the grocery industry, Kim Cordova, a union president in Colorado, she had never experienced the level of violence that her members face today. What happened with COVID, said Cordova, president of Local 7 and the United Food and Commercial Workers, people have changed. Sometimes I wonder if I am living in a Netflix movie. This can't be real. And this is the type of society we're living in now, where you're going to actually be seeing things go down like it is a Netflix movie or some other movie you may have watched. Because things are getting that bad to where people are acting outside the norm, because we're not living in so-called normal times anymore. We're living in bad times, evil times, and things are going to continue to get worse here. So you're going to see people, the love of many wax cold, as the scriptures say, because iniquity is abounding. The love of many shall wax cold. And you're going to see people act out, do things out of the ordinary, so to speak. All right. And it's just showing you, like this chick said in her, I forgot how many, where did it say, Yeah, in her 37 years in the grocery industry, she hasn't seen the things she sees now. And that says a lot, over 3 decades in the grocery industry, you haven't seen anything happening like this because we're living in unprecedented times and we're living in the end times of America. So things are going to continue to get progressively worse, as well as the people are going to start lashing out, start doing things that you've been seeing these other people do in these other countries that are suffering from crazy inflation and their monetary system basically just is just done, to where they can't even survive. Like going to work doesn't pay nothing anymore, and that's kind of where things are slowly getting to over here in America, where it's like the middle class basically isn't no more of a middle class. It's only the rich and the poor, and the poor people, the working homeless, which has already been an issue here, is going to be even worse. Where you going to work and you still can't even afford to survive, you know? So then at that point, what's the point in going to work anymore? And that's when you're going to have people coming out here, start doing more looting, more violence. And the scriptures speak on this, like I'm reading right here. All right. In verse, I'm going to read 15 again. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's what you're seeing get ready to happen out here, man. All right. A lot of more people are going to start going to these grocery stores and looting and just start taking things, man. Start breaking into other people's homes. All right. And just start all hell just breaking loose, man, pretty much. All right. And it's that's pretty much the main points of it that I was reading. It's like a long article, but it pretty much just goes into how, mentions how the people who are looting and stuff, basically they don't get into trouble for it. So it's just like it just keeps increasing more and more. And like I said, that's been an issue out here in the Bay Area because a lot of people they do it so often to where stores are just saying, fuck it and just shutting down because you get broken into or you get your stuff stolen so much to where it's just not even profitable to stay open anymore, you know? And that's just going to be one less store that people have access to go buy food or go, buy stuff from that was usually there. So this is, like I said, a chaos that Esau wants to happen, which he's causing to happen through the inflation and everything, you know. In verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what you're basically seeing transition in society now. All right, that lack of bread, that great tribulation. All right, people are starting to get to a point to where they have to pick and choose what bills they're going to pay. Are you going to buy? How much food can you afford to buy this week? Are you even going to be able to buy food this week? Are you going to be able to pay your rent this month? Because like I said, the prices of things are going up, but your wage isn't. The fluctuations with the prices of everything is going crazy while your wage didn't even move 10 cents or 1 cent, The hours you working at your job, you ain't getting any extra hours. You got to work 2 or 3 jobs and that still ain't getting you by, Here it is a long time ago, decades ago. You were able to work one job and provide for a whole family, your wife, children, the whole thing. Now you can't even do that. Even if you had two jobs, you can't do that. That's how bad that it's gotten here in America, man. And now we're getting to the point to where things are actually about to start being like these other third world countries. where you see out there's people just rioting every day, just nothing but violence in the streets. All right. And then what? That's going to just lead into Esau wanting to bring the order so-called back in, do like they doing out there, I believe, either in Iran or Iraq with the digital ID, basically the centralized the the what the CBDCs, whatever, the digital currencies. All right, that's controlled by Esau, to where he can monitor every last transaction you do or make. At the end of the day, it's all part of his so-called Great Reset, man. How do you think they're going to make it happen? They're forcing it to happen by all these other events taking place, And it's all a big facade, man, just to ultimately further their agenda for the NWO, man. All right. Now, the next scripture I wanted to get real quick is in Habakkuk 2. I'm going to start from the top. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Yeah, we got to stand upon our watch, man, because a lot of things are happening behind the scenes, man. All right. And it's a whole bunch of distractions being thrown out there to distract the people. Like that whole Roe v. Wade, this abortion BS, that's all a big distraction, just to get your attention so you're not focused on what's really going on out here, man. All right. Among many other things that are out here, to do what? Ultimately to distract you so you're not paying attention to what this devil is really doing, man. All right. But continuing on, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's what you see taking place now, man. All right. The prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are not tarrying, man. The destruction of America isn't tarrying anymore. All right. It's basically, it's speaking, it's showing itself, that we're at the end. America's out of here. This society is out of here. This world is out of here. It's on its way out of here. All right. That's why you have to lock in and zone in, tune in to the spirit as much as possible in the times that we're in and the times that we are entering into, because things are only going to get worse from this point on, man. And it's clear to see if you're actually standing upon your watch. That's why you're supposed to be standing on your watch anyway, to see the things coming and to be able to warn the people by doing these lessons, as well as you seeing what's going on. That should be more of a booster in your faith and confidence, knowing that the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are true and faithful, and that we're living in the times of the end, man. The prophecy is taking place. All right. Hey, so with that, I'm going to wrap up and give our praises again to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.